The recent and tragic deaths of actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, hit like a gut punch. A stark warning that caregiving isn't just about giving everything you've got. It's about surviving long enough to keep going. Arakawa, at 65, was the rock for her 95-year-old husband, battling advanced Alzheimer's. Then, out of nowhere, a rare illness took her. Suddenly, Hackman was alone, the lifeline he clung to severed. A week later, his heart gave out. This isn't just sad, it's a scream in the dark. If you're a caregiver, you've felt it, that creeping dread that you might crumble, that you're so focused on them you've lost sight of yourself. It's a fear that gnaws at you, quiet but constant. Caregiving isn't a job with a clock-out time. It's a piece-by-piece unraveling of you. The nights you don't sleep, the appointments you juggle, the decisions that weigh a ton, the slow ache of watching someone you love slip away. It's a marathon with no finish line. And still you run. Because love doesn't let you stop. But here's the cold, hard truth. You can't keep running on nothing. When caregivers crash, it's not just them who fall, it's the person they're holding up. Hackman and Arakawa's story is proof. When the caregiver goes down, the collapse is fast and unforgiving. This isn't just in your head, it's in your body. Caregiving tears you apart, physically. The National Alliance for Caregiving reports that nearly 1 in 5 adults in the US are caregivers, and they're paying a brutal price. Research backs it up. Caregivers face sky-high rates of depression, anxiety, and chronic disease. Dementia caregiving, in particular, is a beast of its own. The Alzheimer's Association warns that caregivers of people with dementia, like Betsy was for Gene, are twice as likely to report substantial emotional, financial, and physical difficulties. The constant stress pumps cortisol through you like poison, shredding your immune system, setting you up for heart trouble, strokes, even memory loss. A study from the Journal of the American Medical Association found that caregivers under chronic stress have a 63% higher mortality rate than non-caregivers. That's not a typo. You're not just tired, you're being slowly dismantled. And yet, you push through the pain because stopping feels like betrayal. But the real betrayal? Ignoring yourself until there's nothing left. The Alzheimer's Association calls it caregiver stress syndrome. When the weight of caregiving crushes your spirit, leaving you isolated, exhausted, and sick. It's not just a bad day, it's a slow-motion disaster. The CDC estimates that over 80% of dementia care happens at home, often resting on one person's shoulders. That's you, carrying a load that keeps growing, with no end in sight. Arakawa poured her soul into Hackman's care, until her body gave out. She died suddenly from a rare illness, likely hantavirus, leaving Gene, who was battling advanced Alzheimer's, without his lifeline. Within days, he was gone too. That's the domino effect of burnout. One topples, and the other can't stand alone. Hackman's story isn't just a tearjerker, it's a screaming red flag. When the caregiver falls, there's no backup plan, no safety net. The whole house comes down. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. You can't save them if you don't save yourself. Caregivers don't need another layer of shame, they need a damn break. You're allowed to step away. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to matter too. Resting doesn't mean you've stopped loving them. It means you're fighting to stay in the game. You weren't built to do this solo. You don't have to. Accepting help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Setting boundaries isn't cold, it's courage. Your health isn't a footnote, it's the foundation. Love isn't how much you can bleed before you break. It's how long you can stay present. And you can't do that when you're a shell. Taking care of yourself isn't walking away. It's arming yourself to keep going, to show up with strength and heart intact. You get it, you can't keep running on fumes. But how do you stop when the demands never do? It's not about grand gestures. It's about small, fierce acts of self-preservation. Rest and mean it. Respite care isn't a myth, use it. A few hours off can stitch you back together, and the numbers don't lie. The Alzheimer's Association says caregivers who snag regular breaks, like a few hours or even a day, report lower stress and better health. The National Institute on Aging backs this up. Respite care slashes burnout risk and keeps you from crumbling. It's not some fluffy indulgence. It's a damn necessity when you're drowning in dementia's chaos. Grab it guilt-free. Check yourself. Stop skipping the doctor. Your body's taking a beating. Listen to it. The CDC found 1 in 3 caregivers ditch their own checkups, and dementia caregivers get hit hardest. A Journal of Gerontology study shows you're more likely to end up with heart disease or diabetes when you're in this grind. Ignoring that ache or exhaustion doesn't make you a hero. It makes you a ticking time bomb. Book the appointment. Your health's not optional. Call in backup. You're not an island. Let friends, family, or pros step in. They want to help. The National Alliance for Caregiving says 60% of caregivers feel cut off, but those who lean on others keep their heads above water. The Alzheimer's Association calls it straight. Dementia caregiving isn't a solo gig. A neighbor dropping off food or a hired hand taking a shift can stop you from losing it. Quit playing the lone wolf. You don't win prizes for breaking alone. Draw a line. You can't be on all the time. Say no when you need to. It's your right. The Journal of the American Geriatric Society found caregivers who guard their time and energy dodge depression and anxiety better. The Alzheimer's Association calls it protecting your bandwidth, and they're dead right. You're not a robot wired to serve 24/7. You're flesh and blood. Saying no isn't weakness, it's how you stay standing. Let it out. Find a support group. Talk to people who get it. You're not the only one carrying this. Research in the American Journal of Alzheimer's Disease and Other Dementias shows caregivers who vent in groups, online or face-to-face, cut their stress and feel less like they're screaming into the void. The Alzheimer's Association's ALZ Connected platform runs 24/7 for this exact reason. Stuffing it down doesn't make you tough. It makes you fragile as hell. Spill it before it splits you open. This isn't sugar-coated self-help. It's survival gear for the dementia caregiving trenches. The research hammers it home. You can't pour from an empty cup, and this gig will drain you dry if you let it. Use these moves to claw back some of yourself. You're worth it too. Caregiving demands everything. Patience when you're spent, grit when you're fragile, hope when you're empty. But it should never demand your ruin. Betsy Arakawa's love for Gene Hackman was fierce and stunning, but it's a warning etched in loss. You don't have to shatter to show you care. You don't have to vanish to keep them safe. You're not a tool to be used up. You're a person. You need rest. You need support. You need love, not just to give, but to take. Your life counts. Your strength counts. Because caring for them starts with caring for you. Leave your comments below. We'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.